Artlist.io. Music licensing reimagined.
Hi everyone, we're back. I know it was so long since, if you were watching, someone popped in and out.
3 minutes.
Kept popping in and out. So if that was one of my players, kudos to you for sneaking and listening in on a player's stuff. If it wasn't one of my players, that's okay too. But yeah. So
Nice to have you here.
I'm Colin. I'm the DM for Campaign 3, the Seven Stone Golems, Legend of Alstaria. If you've joined the channel, you've seen this kind of series before in the past. And in general, we have done some lore series before. So this is the lore series, but this is a player spotlight. And this is specifically for us to get to kind of get a pre-action glimpse at some of the players, what their inspiration was for it, kind of their background of their character, some of their interests and what they're doing, and then how the vibe check's going in the campaign, and all the likes like that. Our players have before our session 0 have got to work on some pamphlets for their backstory. So we got the pamphlets here hanging up, and so this is kind of for stuff like that to be able to take a look and be part of an active. So they have the notes before them to kind of do and be a part of. So with that said, I have some people that will probably be entering in the house here shortly, which is why we keep looking over. This is Krista, my lovely wife.
Hi.
Please come in. You don't have to be secret.
No, Phil was yelling at me.
Oh, okay. All right.
Freaking Phil.
That's fine. We're just doing a quick interview, so...
Hi, Jalen. Hi, honey. I love you.
One of our other players showed up. This is happening all... that's happening in succession. So, back to... I don't know if I actually said it. This is my lovely wife, Krista. She also happens to be one of my players in all the campaigns that we do here on the channel, whether
My
I'm the
house,
DM
I
or
get
not.
to sit in a chair.
Yeah, exactly. So it's super fun. I get a lot of my best and worst ideas from her, and so that is
The worst
kind of
ideas
the
are the funny
introductions.
ones.
So to dive a little bit right into it, who are you and who do you play?
Hi, I'm Krista. I got a longer introduction than Phil. Suck it, Phil. I play Arabella Wit Astra. She is an astral elf druid of the Starry Domain.
Okay. Sweet. And so we'll dive a little bit into what was the major inspiration for Arabella.
So, for those of you that might have seen the last campaign, I played a rogue changeling named Darling.
That wasn't the last campaign. That was 2.
Oh, that was 2 campaigns. It was the last big campaign.
Last big campaign, correct.
The other one was a shorter campaign.
Yes.
But the last big campaign was I played Darling.
Yes.
And she was a rogue, and I was like, there's no character that I could ever play that's going to top Darling. Because
really?
I loved Darling so much. A little bit because every time Colin needed to talk to me, he had to call me Darling, which was really fun. But also, I like being a rogue. I loved her being a changeling.
Mm-hmm.
It didn't come into huge play in the story, but when it did, it was really fun.
Yeah.
And so I was like, well, where do I go from here?
Mm-hmm.
Because I can't just play another rogue.
Okay. Interesting.
Because I would love to always play rogue. I like rogues. I think I like being sneaky, but not. I mean, if you Darling was chaotic.
Yes.
And so I was trying to figure out, like, I think the first character I ever playing D&D was a druid. And I loved being a druid too. And I was like, well, I should try to be a druid again. And for those of you that don't know, I am a teacher in real life. And I was talking to one of my students and he said, there's only one good druid. And he's like, and that's the starry form. Or the starry domain. There's lots of good druids. We know this. But opinionated 6th graders all think they know what is the strongest, the OP character. And he said star domain. And I was looking at it. And then as I was looking at it, I was like, actually, what would make this really fun is things that I know I can get away with because my husband is DM. Meaning, like, they have, like, a little star book that normally, like, they have to have, like, on a physical location in order to do their spells. I went, well, can I just give her, if I do this character, can I just have her completely tattooed with constellations? And Colin's like, yes, I love that. Let's go with that. And so that was kind of where Arabella was born, is in that idea of I can have a completely tattooed character and be, like, have her be a strong druid and just enjoy that aspect of it. And I think this is probably the first time that I've played a druid where I'm not just relying on changing into animal form.
Other forms, yeah.
And so I'm actually really enjoying that aspect. But yeah, so she came kind of from wanting a tattooed character and then looked up names and I was like, okay, Arabella means some form of light. I can't remember. Astra is kind of off of the astral plane, but like stars and things like that. And then Colin also let me get away with naming her middle name is Wit, off of Wit
Mr.
from
Sanderson's.
Yeah, from Sanderson.
Just gonna bring that up, so glad you did.
And so once I was able to kind of get her name, I kind of, all the other pieces fell into place of what I was going to do with her.
Right. So what city is she from? What's kind of her upbringing? What was she doing before the war?
She is from the town Lealabrin.
Yes.
More
of a region than a town.
Yeah, more of a region than a town. Basically, she's been all over that region.
Yeah.
I don't know if it has a main town.
There's not necessarily... The elves don't really clearly... It's not like the Dark Elves with Dark Ven in the dark near forest. You have the Tree of Life. Yeah. But...
And we do say there's obvious zones. And so she grew up in, like, the scholarly zone.
Yeah.
She was raised by scholars. She basically was born naturally into being a scholar herself.
Yeah.
Her dad does the history of, like, all of the elven races.
Mm-hmm. He
is a history keeper and, like, a professor for all of that.
Yeah.
And then her mom would have studied with her, like, with now her mentor. Madame Slovenia is my mentor.
Mm-hmm.
But she would have studied runes. And so Arabella took after her mom and also studies runes.
Right.
And it really hasn't left Lealabrin.
No, you've wanted to with some adventures, correct? Yeah. At some point, you have kind of this companion of yours that was a teacher, mentor in some aspects that talked about, like, Dunruss in particular, which is probably exciting for Arabella coming with the current session that's going to be, because you're not going to get
I think I've gotten to see part of it. Like,
I don't think you've been to the west side of it.
No. No, I have a merchant that I accidentally, when I was younger, snuck into his cart.
Yes.
And got taken to the east, Dunrust, but not for very long. Like, he quickly found me and brought me back.
So with that, let's see. You clearly know what your backstory, place in the world is, and the inspiration. So with that said, what is your faction that you're a part of?
I'm part of the Lantern Archives.
And what do the Lantern Archives do?
they are researchers also.
Mm-hmm.
They research just a vast array of things.
Yes.
So if you want to be researching, especially if you want research connections,
Mm-hmm.
because yes, she studies runes, but she studies runes in correlation to the stars.
Right.
And she really is almost a study of folklore, like
Mm-hmm.
kind of origins of everybody.
Yes.
And so the Lantern Archive permits a lot of intercommunication that she wouldn't have gotten from just Lielebrin, because it is very much an elf city or an elf region that prefers to be...
Speak on that a little more.
That prefers to be elf-centric.
Mm-hmm.
The High Elves only would like to be with only other High Elves.
Yes.
They will make...
This is our lore series, so in the context of Alstaria, and in particular Mersta, the High Elves are very...
they will make do with having to interact with somebody who is not a full High Elf.
Yeah.
But really, even a half elf, they consider a little bit lower class.
Xenophobia is kind of their thing.
Nobody is a high elf in this room right now. No, I'm kidding. She's just over there in the corner. You can't see her.
So
we've shoved her away.
So ties to other characters.
Yeah.
Obviously, we had a player join us. When we get to her interview, we'll talk about how rapidly she got to join us. But in doing so, we didn't get as much connection on your... Well,
when I first thought I would have no connection, you did bring me in during her character creation to kind of discuss that. We would have known, because of course I know all the high elves. I'm an astral elf, or astral elf, which means like high elf. I'm probably slightly below her, but above what we would consider half elf.
Yep. And
Arabella doesn't think about any of this.
Yeah.
In fact, she gets really annoyed at the high elves who only think of high elf, and especially like her dad is really good at studying elf history.
Yeah.
But she almost wishes that she would have known all of the history, and so that's what she's been trying to study. And her dad's encouraged her to study other races, their history, and how their history might collaborate or come alongside elf history.
Yeah.
And so she's been really focused on, for somebody who's only been in Lielebrin, only stuck in Lielebrin, really only interacting with elves for the most part. She does have some humans that come in and out.
Yep.
She's met other races.
Yes.
But really, her focus has been so much bigger than Lielebrin that it's kind of amazing that she's never left Lielebrin.
Speaking of that, how is being thrown into the party in the way that you were, and how is it being at a base that is no longer, is a forced upon home now that, you never were expecting to do this, but now you are now at the hold, Evan Hold, and dealing with having to live with others that, especially creatures like Tartek and the like, a dwarf of all things and all of that.
I think she's really excited.
Okay.
I know, she would be really excited, especially with Tartek.
Mm-hmm.
I think because she's never seen anybody.
Right. And
I don't think she would have even studied the history of. Because she's gotten to study some of the history of dwarves. Like, she's associated with scholars, like dwarven scholars, especially when it comes to astrology and the stars.
Yes.
And their belief of star formation and their runes.
Right.
So she would have really connected with a lot of them, except for she's never even known probably about people like Tartek.
Right.
So the fact that she has not completely bombarded him,
it's pretty impressive.
Is pretty impressive.
Are you enjoying the NPC? Sorry, we are getting closer to the end. How are you interacting as Arabella with the NPCs?
I don't think I've gotten there yet. I think like the one that I feel like I would have really interacted with, somebody else was already interacting with, so I didn't know like how to kind of cut in and go in there. But also I don't know if she's really found her spot yet because of what her field of study is. It's not really the primary focus right now.
Right.
Like runes aren't in a huge play in this right now.
Yeah.
And so she doesn't really know. I think that's kind of where, like, as somebody who is a scholar and almost an archaeologist,
Yeah.
she doesn't really know how to deep dive.
Feel the camaraderie with certain players?
I think we're doing, I think it's really good. Right now, I almost feel like it's very table-sided. Like, this side of the table all knows how to interact with each other. That side of the table knows how to interact with each other.
It's guys
interesting.
versus gals.
It's like and so I'm like trying to figure out
bridging
how to cross those.
So with that, what are you most excited for in campaign 3?
I'm
having played through all of my iterations. Our
really
campaign 1 before we were
storyline.
streaming. We had campaign 2, which was the first one to be streamed. We started streaming about a third of the way through that one, and then
I thought we did campaign 1 on.
No, we did. No, it wasn't on stream. We didn't have stuff set up. Yeah, we were still doing at the landing and stuff like that.
That's right.
Yeah. So, yeah, having gotten to go through all the iterations of your husband's brainchilds, how is it being essentially back in the setting of campaign 1 to some degree?
I think what's interesting is as you DM more, the more that you know how to manipulate the story in a good way.
Mm-hmm.
Like, even how you did our backgrounds and how you've built that character interaction is so much more cohesive than it was when we played 1.
Yeah.
Or even when we played 2. So it'll be interesting to see kind of how much more we grow together as a campaign, because you did start us off in a good reason to be forced together.
Yeah.
And so it'll be interesting. Like, I just sit there and go, oh man, if we ever have a character death, that's going to change the story drastically. Like, not even just a little bit, but it's going to change it. And so I'm interested to see where it goes from here, because I think we have a way of being almost more of the storytellers with some DM input. Yeah. For this campaign than we have before.
Okay. So that's what you're most excited about?
Yeah.
Okay.
I like being a storyteller.
All right. I think, like I said, I'm not...
No,
it's
thank
asking
you very
me,
much.
My prompt here is asking me to not necessarily give spoilers or hints or anything like that, but I would say for you, we kind of discussed this in our last stream with midstream DM, just talking to all the players, like how certain NPCs are more apt to connect with a one-on-one, because there's 8 NPCs. There's opportunity, 6 of you guys to do stuff. I would say that I don't think it's been ultimately super looked into, and there hasn't been a whole lot of opportunity. Like, we've been pretty. Made me feel
really bad about it last week, but I was like, I don't know. It felt like you were telling us to just move on and do the next thing.
Right. So there's aspects of that, but there will be more room for growth and stuff. But I would keep just an eye out for Tamsin. Okay. Like, I think Tamsin will be a closer one.
I think Tamsin's supposed to be for me too.
So, with that, thank you guys for checking in for another lore episode here, Player Spotlight for Arabella, played by Krista. And we're excited to get 2 more before the next stream.
Can I just make Warren my best friend?
We will, I mean, you can do what you want. But we will see you here in probably 15-20 minutes for the session 4 stream. All right. Thank you. Bye.
See, and I thought it was going to be...